We have a spreadsheet which has an example receivables ledger. It includes multiple purchases by some customers. The subtotal functionality can help us to quickly total purchases made by each customer. In order to start the subtotal functionality, we can click on a cell inside our table, or we can highlight all data inside our table. If you do go the highlighting route, you need to ensure that you include the header for this function. On the ribbon, we select Data and then Subtotal on the right-hand side. The Subtotal menu will appear. Using the drop-down arrows, we select to have each change in name be a subtotal. The next drop-down menu is which function will be used, and we're using sum in this case. And we'd like to add the subtotal to the balance, so we will leave that one ticked. Excel default ticks two options at the bottom here. One to replace any existing subtotals, which is not applicable in our example because we don't have any subtotals, but we can leave it ticked. And the option to put a summary below the data, which is useful as it will be a summation of every item that's listed on our spreadsheet, so we can leave it selected. If we had a larger data set, it may be easier for formatting to have a page break inserted after each subtotal, but because our example is as small as it is, we're going to leave it as unselected, and obviously it's easier for us to see if it's not on a separate page. Let's click OK. As you can see, Excel has quickly subtotaled our subledger balances for us, and we can quickly see what the subtotal is for each customer. If we use the minuses and the pluses found on the side of the spreadsheet, we can easily increase or decrease the amount of detail available on our spreadsheet depending on how we would like the data displayed. Let's look at the average option next. For this part of the demonstration, I have saved the same data used before on a different tab. I named it Average. As before, in order to start the subtotal functionality, we want to click on a cell inside our table, or we can highlight as I did previously. This time I'll show you how the subtotal function works if you just click inside. So I've clicked inside on cell B12. I go to Data on my ribbon and Subtotal. We're going to be doing the average function. I still want it to be subtotaling the average of each customer name, and I need to change the function to average, and I'd like the average to be added to the balance total, so that can remain. As before, we're going to leave the auto-selected items the way that they are, and we can click OK. Excel has produced an average for each customer. As before, we can use the pluses and minuses to increase the amount of detail that's available and displayed on the spreadsheet. By using the subtotal function, we were quickly able to see the total sales made by each customer and their average sales, which could be helpful for performing audit work.